Welcome to the exclusive guide for Angela, the lost Valkyrie and sister of Thor. Armed with her divine spear and twin axes, she is a hybrid bruiser who thrives on aerial dominance, burst initiation, and area control. Today we'll be breaking down Angela's full kit, her strengths and weaknesses, and how you can master her. Let's take a look at her abilities. Starting off with her passive, Seraphic Soar, Angela can enter in continuous flight mode, and while airborne, she continuously builds up attack charge, empowering her next melee attack, making her one of the few tanks that can contest vertical enemies directly. Her normal attacks are the Spear and Axes of Icor. The Spear of Icor is a lunging strike that scales with attack charge. At full charge, it knocks back enemies and deals bonus damage, perfect for controlling space. With her axes, she unleashes fast attack chains, and on the fourth hit, Angela lunges forward for extra reach. These also scale with attack charge, rewarding aggressive play. Her first ability, Wingblade Ascent, is where Angela takes flight and switches into spear mode. She can reactivate this ability to dive bomb, creating a blessed zone that grants allies movement speed and shields. And after impact, Angela automatically swaps to her axe stance. Her second ability, Shielded Stance, is where Angela transforms her spear into a 300 HP shield, absorbing any incoming fire. Every bit of absorbed damage also builds up attack charge. She can use this both in the air and on the ground. Her third ability, Assassin's Charge, is where Angela continuously dashes forward for a short duration, becoming displacement immune. Any enemies she collides with head-on is grabbed and carried into the air, making this both a gap closer and a setup tool. She can carry only up to 2 enemies at a time. And lastly, her ultimate, Heaven's Retribution, is where Angela hurls her spear, binding nearby enemies with divine ribbons. She can then choose to leap to the spear's location, detonating an AoE slam that creates a divine judgment zone, granting her team shields and mobility buffs while punishing any clustered, rooted enemies. Next up is her team-ups. As of right now, her only team-up is with Thor, making it a natural synergy, as Thor would rely on her ultimate to execute his perfectly. Granted, they also have a team-up ability where Thor can hurl a spear of his own, then leap to it, regaining any Thor Force charges, making this a great gap closer for him. Now let's look at Angela's strengths and weaknesses. For her strength, she has great aerial dominance, making her one of the only tanks that can maintain a sustained flight mode and punish any high ground. She has great momentum-based damage, considering her kit rewards aggression. At any time, you could just charge up, dive, and brawl any opponents. She has great setup potential, with her Assassin's Charge and Heaven's Retribution both set up devastating follow-ups for her team. She also gives great utility with her shields and movement buffs, making her durable while supporting allies. Now let's look at her weaknesses. She is very reliant on charge management, as without attack charge, her damage and her knockback tools are very much weaker. She also has very predictable flight paths, as any skilled players can easily track her and punish her for her air dives, making her susceptible to characters like Namor, Punisher, or Hela. Another weakness is that she's very shield dependent, as once her 300 HP shield is broken, she's very vulnerable to any focused fire. And her last weakness is that she's very cooldown reliant, as burning Assassin's Charge too early can leave her exposed. And given this is one of her key setup abilities, anytime she were to waste this or miss her target, it can leave her very non-reliant and no utility left in her kit. Now let's look at her counters and matchups on who she's good against and who she's weak against. First, let's look at characters she can easily counter. The first one being Venom. Although he has great mobility and sustain, your ultimate binding him can shut him down easily, and your attack charges can peel for your backliners to keep him off them. The next hero you're good against is Captain America. Given he's very dependent on melee hits, to become ranged with his shield tosses, it'll be very difficult for him to confront you, and your Assassin's Charges can easily displace him to force abilities out of him. The last hero she's good against is Groot. She can fly and bypass any of his wall setups quickly and easily. She can also easily displace Groot since he has no mobility to get himself out of bad positioning. Next category are the 50-50s. These heroes have an equal chance of losing or winning against Angela. First one is Magneto. His zoning and shields can cut off her dives, but his limited number of shielding can't protect everyone since he can only bubble one person, so it can be overwhelming if Angela were to coordinate her attacks with another backline diver or a strong ranged attack like an Iron Man or a Punisher ultimate. Next tank is the Hulk. He has similar mobility and shielding like Magneto that can protect anyone who would try to abduct, but Angela's shield can protect against the only ranged attacks that Hulk's has, plus her ultimate can shut down his mobility when trapped in it. But just keep in mind that if he hasn't used his bubble shields yet, he could easily cast it once you trap him in the ultimate, and he can easily escape afterwards. Next up is Strange. Both have flight capabilities, so the fight can go anywhere, but granted you have a melee advantage to pierce his shield, and this can force Strange into fights he must take, leaving him exposed without any shielding. Just be aware of his ultimate since you will be close when facing him, so you can be stunned at any time. Last one is Thor. Now both heroes are equally menacing when taking fights up close, but as Thor has his shield sustain and mobility to try to escape any sticky situations, plus his lightning realm can keep you rooted where he wants you to be, can be troubling. But where you'll shine is if you commit to flight mode and CC him whenever possible to keep him at bay. Now here are the heroes that Angela can struggle against. First one being the Thing. Given his obvious displacement immunity passive, it can completely counter any of your knockback effects and any abductions. Plus his heavy punch and ground slam can both shut down your mobility, leaving you completely countered. Next one is Penny Parker. With her ranged web snares can punish your flight mode that can stop you from diving or grabbing any of her allies. Plus her spider nest can stop your aggressiveness, making it very difficult to take the fight up close. Last hero you'll struggle against is Emma Frost. Her diamond form will easily just shrug off any of your dives since she's CC immune and can easily mitigate most of your damage, since in diamond form she also takes 25% less of any damage. She can also interrupt you with any of her grab or kicks abilities since you don't have much CC immunity in your kit. Now let's look up some final tips for success with Angela. First is save your shield stance in flight mode mostly. This will allow you to keep charging while soaking up any damage safely from any ranged character since melee heroes won't be able to reach you. Next is to weave in some melee attacks mid-fight. Since your spear has low DPS, you can animation cancel by meleeing like you would with Strange to increase with DPS. Next is to combo your Assassin's Charge into ultimate for a reliable AoE lockdown. Your ultimate can latch onto walls in high places that can really keep enemies suspended in the air for easier targeting. And last tip is to don't just play her as this dive bruiser, and to remember that her kit gives her team buffs. So play around your little divine zones to maximize the impact and sustain for your team. Angela is the ultimate aerial initiator, a tank who could command both the skies and the ground with her equal ferocity. So if you're looking to lead the charge with Fury, Angela is your pick. If you guys enjoyed this guide or learned something new, make sure to drop a like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.